just to clean up our from Tuesday's game. If you told me before the game, Debo, Coleman, and Lance Terry would combine for 3 points, and you would have a shot to win the game. With other guys not, obviously playing due to injuries and stuff. Is proud of our guys to put ourselves in position to do that. Secondly, just rewatching the game, Pitt earned that win. Like Pitt, I thought we played really well, and I thought Pitt was really good, and I thought Pitt earned the win. I thought they really earned the win. They hit big shots when they needed to, and we didn't give them the game. They didn't give us the game. It could have gone either way, and Pitt earned the win. They hit some big key shots, so credit to them on earning that win. And they had to play well to beat us. We had to play well to give ourselves a chance, and I thought both teams played really well on Tuesday. Moving to Louisville on Saturday, obviously Louisville has gotten so much better. They've continued to improve. Coach Payne has done a great job, and we'll have to play really, really well on Saturday with great energy and continue to get better and continue to improve each day and just continue to get our team better. So got a great opportunity for Senior Day. We got Javon Franklin, who's had a great last month here. Coleman Boyd, senior, who's graduating in the spring. Going to be a really good coach one day. We've got managers having their senior day, and then obviously a guy like Rodney Howard and Kyle Sturdivant. Technically because of the COVID year, they have an additional year. So this isn't really their senior day because they have the opportunity to come back. For next season, this isn't their final game. They will both have opportunities for continuation of college basketball after this season based on the additional COVID year.
You were just talking about, 2 or 3 players that had that COVID option. And you've talked before about what happened with Alvarado and with Moses when you thought they were coming back and may have passed on some guys. Have you changed your approach now, how you deal with that? Do you give them a deadline on, we need an answer by this time or that time?
Well, and the other one is Lance Terry. He's a senior, technically, and he's got additional year for COVID. So, no, I think the philosophy is now I learned my lesson. I'm not going to wait. If you can get some, get some guys and able to get guys. You got to remember the transfer window. The rules state that I think it's a 60-day window, and I don't have the exact days in front of me, but so guys can go in at different time during that 60-day period. But I think if you have a chance to get a really good, student athlete in the portal, you're not going to wait. Now, in that position we were in, a lot of guys were waiting to see what those guys, Alvarado and Moses Wright, were doing too. So, but it was, if you can get somebody good, you're going to go get them now.
But I guess to hopefully people clear on that. I mean, do you tell someone like Lance or Kyle, hey, we want to take this guy, but we need to, if we get him, that means they're going to be a place for you, or how does that?
I haven't even thought about it like that because I'm just trying to win the game on Saturday versus Louisville, Ken. So I haven't thought on any of that stuff, and we'll cross that bridge when that bridge comes. But right now, my only focus is to try to win the game on Saturday.
Right. Looking back at that Louisville game, some things have changed since that game. I know you were out rebounded pretty badly, and I think we talked to Kyle, and he wasn't aware until he looked at the box score and said, wow, we really got out hustled here. And it seemed like from that point on, your team started to rebound better. What has changed since then?
Yeah, we've improved. We've gotten better. In that game, we had some great looks, too, that we missed. Obviously, we didn't have Lance that game. Rodney was really banged up. Davon wasn't able to play, hurt himself in shoot-around. but Louisville has improved as well too, and we'll have to be, we got to be much better than we were the first time. And again, like I said, we had some great looks, but I think since then we're playing better in a lot of different areas, and hopefully we can continue that on Saturday.
What's the status with Davon and Tristan?
Status is, to be determined. I got to see how Davon's feeling. We didn't practice yesterday, so I don't have a status based on, because we didn't practice yesterday. I think both guys are to be determined for Saturday. I'll know more about both gentlemen once we have practice today and tomorrow on what they're able to do and not able to do.
Tristan was like, he had flu symptoms, or what was his?
Just he wasn't feeling well.
Rod, you got something?
You have a player in Withers who put up some big numbers last game, both rebounding and scoring, similar to what happened up at Pitt on Tuesday night. Not really what is your approach going to be to defending him, but do you feel like you have to do anything different than what you did the first time?
Withers is a good player. I mean, he's been a good player. Even he's been a good player with Coach Payne. Was a good player last year with Coach Mack and that staff. I mean, he's a good player. He was a highly ranked recruit, and we'll have to do a really good job on him defensively.
This year, through the second half, attendance at games hasn't been what it's been. I mean, I think you talked before about you got to win to bring the fans in. I'm curious, just kind of what thoughts you have, or what when you look out there, what kind of.
Well, I would tell you, Ken, I thought, considering on Saturday versus Florida Tech, I thought it was a good crowd considering the fact, there was good energy in the building. You're playing, not a non-ACC team late in the season. I thought it was, I thought there was good energy in the building. I thought the crowd was fine, and I know there was that stretch in January. We weren't winning, and I get it. And sometimes it's harder during the weekdays. Also, it's just tough during the weekdays. There's a lot of things going on, at times. But I would tell you that, just in a generalization form, I think things are different now just in attendance all across the board in college basketball. I mean, you have so many options to watch the game on television. You can watch it on your phone. There's just so many different options that you have. And do you want to beat the traffic during a weeknight? If you have a family, you got kids for school the next day. There's a lot of just factors involved, and then we hadn't played as well during that stretch either. We weren't playing as well. But look, I would tell you that it's just been, and again, I don't know this, and Mike Moose, you would know this better than I would. I think there's just been probably things have always evolved just in a like Atlanta. I think early on they're probably back in the 80s and 90s, and obviously Coach Kremen's had great success. That's not but there's probably less to do at that time, and there's just been more to do in Atlanta. So you have more. You're competing against more things, and on the other hand, like I said, we didn't win in that stretch in January. Which the more you win, the better you play. You're going to bring the crowd back. That's just the reality of it. And my first year we were here when we started winning. We had great crowds, and in that I remember our fourth year, man, we had great crowds, and that fifth year, unfortunately, the COVID thing, even though we were allowed some people in, and last year to start, we had, for the most part, we had pretty good crowds, and this year we struggled in January. We really struggled in January, other than the Miami game, and that's part of it as well too.
Could you talk a little bit about Kyle Sturtevant? He's shooting the ball better, scoring more. I think his assist to turnover was good against Pitt. What has changed for Kyle Sturtevant?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've gotten better, and he's gotten better, and he's settled in, and probably playing less guys has helped him kind of just find his rhythm, and Kyle's done a really nice job for us.
At the end of the Pitt game, I think they made 8 of their 10 last shots, and you guys had a lot of guys playing 38, 40 minutes. And do you think there was a correlation there?
I don't know. I thought a couple of those shots Pitt hit were pretty tough shots, and they had some guys that played a bunch of minutes too. I mean, they're an older team. They're a veteran team, and I said in the post game. I mean, and it's a true statement. Their starting five is older than the Oklahoma City Thunder starting five, and that's what happens when you're really old like that. That's a great advantage. You're just good. They're a good team that hit big shots, and a couple of those shots were tough shots that I thought we did a nice job defensively. Federico, 33, came in shooting 50-some-odd% from the free throw line, and he was 8 for 8. It's been sometimes how the year's gone for us. But, yeah, that's that.
You talked about, Lance not getting on the scoreboard against Pitt, and he looked pretty frustrated sitting on the bench. Do you expect him to bounce back?
Yeah, he'll bounce back. We need him to bounce back. And, I probably took a gamble playing with 3 fouls, but anyone that knows me that I'm not a big believer in saving guys with fouls. So he didn't need to get that 4th foul. He should just kind of bailed out of the way. And that's not who Lance is. It's his mentality, but he should have probably given a little more of an angle because we needed him on the floor. But we still had our chances, and credit to Pitt. They hit big shots to win the game.
Okay, you got one more?
It's good. Okay.